I went from being the fattest guy ever to literally being shredded as fuck in only a couple years. If you listen to my advice, I post to every other influencer who says calories in, calories out, I guarantee you will achieve the same results as me. This will be broken down to three different sections: seed oils, listening to bullshit influencers, and training. Alright, seed oils are so important. Seed oils are in everything and every food that we eat. It's in your biscuits, Oreos, cereals, vegetables, burgers, fries, chocolate. It's in everything that we digest. And it's important to not digest this bullshit. Seed oils increase your omega 3 to 6 fatty ratio up to 1 to 15 and 1 to 20 ratios. These ratios are linked to people with obesity and heart disease. So the more seed oils that you have, the more likely you are to be a fat cunt. Do you want to be aesthetic or you want to be jacked? Omega 3s are anti-inflammatory. So these look after your brain, heart, and hormones. It's important to know that we are hormonal organisms. We aren't steam engines. You can't chuck 1,000 calories worth of wood into us expecting the same result as someone who is eating clean as fuck. It doesn't work like that. Alright, our hormones are what make us. Omega 3 is pro inflammatory. This sounds condescending as fuck because you would think that omega 3s are the way to go and omega 6 aren't, but it doesn't work like that. We produce omega 6 naturally in our body, so it's still important to have this ratio. The problem isn't having too much omega 6s in our body. The problem is the ratio we have in our body. This ratio dictates our hormone control. Alright, so it affects the way that estrogen and testosterone is produced in our body. The more sixes we have in our body, the less testosterone we will build, alright? This is important for us because testosterone is what builds you as a man. The more testosterone that you have, the more muscle you'll build on your frame. Testosterone is what makes effort feel good. This ratio is fucked because scientists have found out that our ancestors had a 1-to-1 ratio. A 1-to-1 ratio, if you think about that, that's actually fucked. Seed oils have increased this by 15 times. If you just envision our ancestors ate clean as fuck. They hunted for their food. They weren't influenced by pollution to the results that we are. They weren't influenced by seed oils, by sugars, by refined carbs, by all that mumbo jumbo bullshit, alright? Our ancestors were in peak physical condition. We should be more like them. Number 2, listen to sellout influencers. Sellout influencers like who? Joe Faisler and Sam Sulek. Every time I click on Joe Faisler's video, his videos may be engaging to watch, but I always see him promote his fucking sponsor, My Protein, alright? If you think about it, My Protein is just a business. They want to sell the supplements. It doesn't take a scientist to know that it's better to go organic and natural than processed, made in the lab, alright? Sam Sulek, alright, he has such a large audience. He often has a good personality, which is why people listen to him. But he gives them wrong advice. People often forget that he's on a shitload of steroids. Just because you go to the gym, it doesn't mean that you're healthy. These steroids affect your fucking health and it can lead to you having a shorter lifespan. If you see every video that he makes, he literally loses his gasp over it. He's like this. He's like, yeah, guys, so this pose is really good for you. It doesn't take a genius to know he's fucking dying, alright? He often promotes having chocolate milk on his bulk. Most people who follow him are just young kids getting into the gym. They don't realize that chocolate milk is not fucking good for you. I don't know why people have to fucking know this shit. It doesn't take a scientist to know that chocolate milk was bad for you and organic is the better way. If you're gonna have milk, have organic milk. People often believe in calories in, calories out because of the law of thermodynamics. You can't neither destroy or create energy. It can only be converted, alright? That is true, but our bodies don't react to that in the same way. Just because you eat 100 calories worth of chicken and it may have 20 grams of protein, you're not going to get all that 20 grams of protein. When you digest it, your body burns some of the calories through the thermic effect of food. Alright? You don't get all the nutrients. When you absorb something in your body needs to heat up. When it heats up, it burns calories. Calories are just a unit of energy, alright? So this fucking debunks calories in, calories out. It may be true to some regard, but we can't rely on this, alright? And you can't rely on fucking influencers saying this bullshit. I see all these influencers who get promoted by all these brands who have protein powder every day in the diet say, oh yeah, calories in, calories out is what makes you. If you just hit your macros, if you just hit your calorie target, then then that's all what really matters, all right? But you don't want to optimize just for that. You want to optimize for your health because if you eat better, you're more likely to look better. Not more likely, you are looking better. You will look better. If you want to learn how to build a static body naturally, down below is a link to my course. I'm currently making the course right now, so this is a pre-sale. I'll explain everything on dieting, training, testosterone, and the mindset needing to be jacked, all right? If you sign up right now to get it, you'll get it for half price before I release it for full price, and I'll be releasing it in a few weeks. Number 3, you train like a pussy. Every time I go to the gym, I swear I'm the only guy who's working hard. I see all these people around me, alright? In between sets, they're fucking texting in between sets to their friends, or they're just scrolling on TikTok, getting dopamine, opposed to just being in the fucking zone. When you're training, you're there to train. You're not there to fucking be a bitch, pretty much, alright? There's no other way I can word this. I'm trying to be nice about this, but there's no other way you can word this. When you train, you have to train with intensity. Your intensity is impaired every time you're out the zone. I'm not saying you can't talk to your friends in between sets, but I'm saying don't get out the zone fully. I swear I lift the best every time I have a spotter. If you're lifting by yourself, you can still lift pretty good gains, alright? I lift by myself, but the best times I made the best gains was when I trained with someone, or especially when I had a fucking spotter. When you have a spotter, you can go past failure. You don't need to worry about injuring yourself because you have no one to spot you, alright? You have someone to hold your fucking arms and lift you up just in case you die. Even if they help you and you go down on the eccentric, you still get tension on your muscles. Tension is what builds you, bro, alright? Tension is what builds a man. You're not going to grow if you're being a bitch going, 50% of the way because you're too scared to fail a set, or you're too scared to drop the weights and look like a bum, alright? You're there to train, alright? You're not there to look pretty. I see all these people doing all these JPG variations or skewing the training regimen to have the right optimal fucking workout, alright? You see all these science-based nerds, alright? Most of them don't look big, and it's for good reason, because they train like a bitch. It doesn't take a genius to know that basics are key. If you see all the golden era bodybuilders like Arnold, like Mike Menzer, like Frank Zane, like fucking, you can name all of them. They weren't doing all these complex exercises with this D handle to get 2% of a better increase on your latissimus dorsi or some bullshit, alright? They just fucking lifted weights. In society in general, you see the dumbest people who go to the gym often have the best physiques, alright? Because they don't overthink. Overthinking is what makes you small. Overthinking is what makes you fall into this mental masturbation, alright? The more that you overthink and think about something, the less likely you are to pursue action, alright? Just stick to your basics. It doesn't take a genius to know. So this is why exactly you are small. Just fix these 3 things. Don't have seed oils, or just limit it, alright? Because I know it's hard. Sometimes we want to have that piece of chocolate, but it's important to limit this. Don't listen to most influencers online because they are sellouts. They often just want to have, a payout from their fucking protein company. Alright, listen to people who are actually educated. People who actually know about fitness and dieting, like me. And don't train like a pussy. It's simple as that. When you go to the gym, it's not going to look pretty, alright? Your workouts aren't going to look pretty. You're not going to hit the best PRs all the time. You're not going to re-rack the weights perfectly. Sometimes you'll drop it. Just be prepared to sweat, alright? Most people in the gym, they don't sweat. They train like bitches. You don't want to be like them. If you want to be in the 1%, just train like a man.